Some sales strategies to increase more sales that I know of that are the most effective are really just two very simple things. Number one is to ask the question, right? Ask for the sale. So few salespeople will actually ask for the sale. And the way that sounds is, it's not like, are you ready to buy? Hey, you want to buy now? How about now? You ready now? Right? There's a suave technique to go about asking for the sale, but it sounds something like this. You might ask them, well, if it's a face-to-face conversation, or even over the phone, you might say, well, have I answered all of your questions? Do you have any other questions about the product? They say, well, no, I think we've, and you say, okay, well, would you like to purchase one or two, right? Would you like to purchase package A or package C? You might say, well, would you like to own this today, right? Any of those kinds of questions are asking for the sale. Now, chances are when you do this, you're going to get some kind of objection in response, right? They're going to say something like, well, it still seems a little expensive to me. Now, instead of immediately jumping on the defensive and be like, well, it's not more expensive, we're priced equally to the other competitors and, blah, blah, blah. In other words, instead of going on the defensive to defend your price, which is our natural instinct to do, instead, turn it around, put the ball back in their court with a question. So if they say, well, it's more expensive than I had hoped, you might say, well, what were you hoping the price would be? And they might say, well, I was really hoping I could get it for under $1,000. And you could say, well, if I can work it out so we can get this under $1,000 for you, will you be ready to purchase today? Right? You might get a, well, yeah, if you can do it for $1,000, I'm in, right? Or you might get a, well, we're just not sure it has enough features. Then you could say, well, what features are important to you? And if they come back with something that you can answer to or something that you can provide, then guess what? You can say, okay, I understand you want more customer service. You want more than 1 year of customer service with this. If I can work this out to get you 2 years of customer service, will you be ready to purchase today? See, there's always a way to feed it back to them. And what that does is it allows you to understand what they truly value and what they need. And that allows you now to offer that to them and close the sale. The second technique is to ask more than once, okay? As I just kind of showed you, you might ask, if I can do this, would you be ready to buy? And they say, well, no, because of this. You say, well, if I can do that, would you be ready to buy? You may have to go through 4, 5, or 6 iterations of that conversation before you actually get a positive response. The other is follow-up. Maybe you're in the kind of sales world where it requires follow-up. Car sales, real estate, insurance, investments, these kinds of things that are major purchases, right? Large muscle movements for the customer typically don't happen on the first call. As a matter of fact, I have some stats here. 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% on the second, 5% on the third, 10% on the fourth, and a full 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact when you're talking about major sales. What's remarkable about those stats is that only half of salespeople ever follow up at all, ever move beyond the first contact, and only 10% will follow up more than 3 times. So if you're not, following up at least 3 times on these major sales, you're losing out on 80% of your potential closings, right? So number 1, ask the question. Number 2, ask it multiple times if you need to. And number 3, follow up. Follow up as many times as you need to get a definitive answer. And if you do those 3 things, you're going to close more sales, you're going to have more success. If you'd like some information about online marketing and how to close more sales online without ever picking up the phone, without ever having a conversation, that's possible. I've been doing that for about the last 6 months with some really remarkable success. I put a blueprint right below the video here. You can click on the link. It'll take you to workingwithbrian.com, and I'll give you that blueprint to show you how I doubled my income in a month doing some really awesome, fun, easy online marketing techniques that have generated even more sales with me. So you can combine those techniques with the ones that I've taught you here today in the video and really begin to get some remarkable results.